In the bustling yet broken edges of Cebu City, near the rusted rail tracks and the tired waves of the old Cemon Cow Well, lived a poor fisherman named Ramon Savitsky. His small bamboo hut leaned to one side, patched with cardboard and old fishing nets, surrounded by the echoing cries of hungry cats. Life had never been kind to Ramon. He woke before sunrise to sell fish at the public market, earning just enough to buy rice, salt, and sometimes a few sardines for supper. Yet beneath his worn-out clothes and sunburned skin lived a heart full of wild imagination. Ramon had a strange dream, one that made his neighbors laugh. He wanted to train the street cats of Cebu to perform tricks, to dance, to move with rhythm and grace like no one had ever seen before. He called them the Savitsky Cats of Cebu. Every night, after his work was done and the city lights flickered dimly over the slum rooftops, Ramon would gather his 6 stray cats, Luna, Chico, Bato, Mimi, Tissoy, and Ganda. They were rough creatures, thin, dirty, and untamed, survivors of alleys and garbage piles. But to Ramon, they were not ordinary cats. He saw in their eyes the same hunger and courage he carried in his soul. With nothing more than a bamboo stick, a handful of dried fish, and pure patience, he began to teach them. The old rope from his fishing net became their balance beam, and an overturned basket served as their stage. He taught them to jump, to walk on ropes, to leap through circles made of twigs, and even to bow when he said, "Saludo." The other villagers thought he was crazy. They mocked him for wasting time when he could be earning money repairing boats or catching more fish. Children threw pebbles at his cats, laughing as they scattered, but Ramon never got angry. "One day," he would whisper, "you'll see them shine brighter than stars." It wasn't easy. Some nights, the rain poured so hard that the Cemon Cow Well flooded, and the ground turned into mud. Still, he kept training, his voice echoing under the dripping tin roof as lightning lit up the faces of his furry students. When one cat finally jumped from one bamboo pole to another without falling, Ramon's eyes filled with tears. That tiny moment of success meant more to him than gold. It was proof that even the broken can learn to dance. Slowly, the cats began to understand. They moved with rhythm, balance, and surprising grace, their tails flicking in harmony like trained gymnasts. What began as a poor man's impossible dream became a quiet miracle growing in the slums of Cebu. Each night, as the moon rose above the Cemon Cow Well, Ramon's humble backyard transformed into a stage of magic, where 6 stray cats danced with the spirit of survival, and one man's faith turned poverty to art. One stormy afternoon, the skies above Cebu City turned gray, and the winds began to scream like ghosts. Rainwater poured down the narrow alleys, flooding the market streets, and filling the Cemon Cow Well until it overflowed with muddy water. Ramon Savitsky, clutching his bamboo training stick, hurried to gather his 6 cats. Soaked and shivering, he found shelter under an abandoned jeepney, its paint faded and rusted like the dreams of forgotten drivers. There, with thunder echoing around him, he continued his training. Lightning flashed, and the cats moved as he whispered soft commands. His voice trembled, but his spirit never did. To anyone passing by, it looked like madness, a poor man talking to cats beneath a broken jeep in the middle of a storm. But to Ramon, it was the sound of determination, the rhythm of hope refusing to drown. Fate, however, had been watching quietly. A tourist from Manila named Elena de la Cruz, carrying only her phone and curiosity, happened to pass by and saw Ramon's strange rehearsal. She was instantly moved. The sight of those drenched cats balancing on ropes as rain poured over their heads, while their master guided them with such care, felt like a scene from a dream. She recorded a short video and posted it online with the caption, "Even the poorest heart can create beauty." Within days, that clip exploded across social media. People around the world were mesmerized by the man from Cebu who trained street cats like world-class performers. News channels began calling him the cat whisperer of the Philippines. Then, the impossible happened. One morning, as Ramon was drying fish by the roadside, he received a letter sealed with a golden star, an invitation from America's Got Talent. At first, he thought it was a prank, but when an official from the U.S. Embassy confirmed it, Ramon fell to his knees, crying as his cat circled him, meowing as if they understood. The people of Cebu, who once laughed at him, now came together to raise money for his flight. Vendors donated pesos, children brought rice, and even the mayor offered help. For the first time in his life, Ramon boarded an airplane, holding a small wooden box where his cats rested peacefully. When the day of the AGT performance arrived, Ramon stood backstage trembling. The bright lights, the roaring crowd, and the massive cameras overwhelmed him. Yet when the music began, his fear melted away. Luna jumped through a ring of flowers, Chico balanced on a thin bamboo stick, and Ganda leapt from Ramon's shoulder like a flying acrobat. The audience gasped. The judges, Sofia Vergara, Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, and even Cemon Cow Well were left in awe. When the final note played, the arena exploded in applause. Cemon, who rarely stood, rose from his seat and said, "That was pure heart." Ramon bowed deeply, tears mixing with the stage lights, as his cats purred in triumph. From the slums of Cebu to the grand stage of America, he had proven that love, no matter how poor, could turn even stray souls into stars. When Ramon Savitsky returned to Cebu City, he wasn't just a fisherman anymore. He was a hero, a living symbol of what faith, love, and determination could build from nothing. As the plane landed, a crowd had already gathered near Mactan Airport, waving cardboard signs that read, "Mabuhi Savitsky Cats," and "Pride of Cebu." The same neighbors who once mocked him now cheered his name with tears in their eyes. Children danced barefoot on the muddy streets, cats perched on rooftops, and the smell of fried fish and banana Q filled the air. Ramon walked slowly through the crowd, holding a small carrier where his 6 cats rested quietly. The cats didn't understand fame, but they could feel the joy that surrounded them. It was as if all the laughter, hunger, and struggle of the Cemon Cow Well days had transformed into something golden, a miracle born from hardship. Word spread across the Philippines like wildfire. Television shows invited him to speak. Newspapers ran stories titled, "From Poverty to the World Stage, the Cat Trainer of Cebu." Students painted murals of him beside his cats, and even small barangay theaters began performing short plays inspired by his life. But Ramon never let pride swallow his humility. Every morning, he still visited the Cemon Cow Well, now cleaned and restored by the community. There, he would sit with his cats, throw them bits of dried fish, and whisper the same soft words that started it all. "You see, my babies," he would say, smiling, "we made the world listen, not because we were rich, but because we never gave up." To Ramon, the well was more than a memory. It was his teacher, his first stage, and his quiet reminder that greatness can rise from the most forgotten places. Soon, schools began inviting Ramon to teach children about patience, discipline, and compassion for animals. He would bring Luna and Chico along, demonstrating their tricks, while explaining how love can train even the wildest hearts. Parents wept as they watched, not because the cats were extraordinary, but because Ramon's story touched the deepest part of their souls. He had proven that dreams are not meant only for the wealthy or the lucky, but for anyone brave enough to keep believing, even when the world calls them foolish. His story became part of Philippine folklore, a tale parents told their children on rainy nights. If Ramon could make cats dance, you can make your dreams come true too. And as the years passed, the Savitsky Cats of Cebu remained a legend. Tourists visited the Cemon Cow Well to see where the dream began, and murals of Ramon and his cats decorated city walls. But the truest beauty lay not in the fame, nor in the applause of America's Got Talent. It lay in the silence of one man's heart, where hope refused to die. Under the same old sky, Ramon still trained his cats every dusk, the sun setting behind the coconut trees, his laughter echoing softly in the air. The world had changed, but his spirit never did. From the poorest corner of Cebu, a fisherman and his 6 cats had written a story that would live forever, a story of love, perseverance, and the boundless magic of believing.